Namaste. Welcome to the distance education organized by NPABSAN Kaski, and today I am here to teach you on the topic of how plants survive in nature. Okay, in previous class, students, we learn about different habitat of a plant. The plants survive in different habitat. We discuss about that. And they are land habitat, water habitat, etc. And also we learn about different groups of plants. They are herbs, shrubs, trees, climbers and creepers. Okay, we learn about that. Now in our today class we are going to learn desert plants. So our topic is desert plants. Students, do you know desert is extremely hot? Desert is very hot. And in desert there also survive some types of plant such as aloe vera, cactus, etc. They can survive in desert. So there are very little rain in the desert. Also in desert, very little rain. The rainfall is very little. And the desert is sandy and rocky. The desert is consists of sandy and rocky. Due to this presence of sand and rocky, the temperature of desert during daytime is very hot. Do you know why? Because sand absorbs heat because of presence of sand. Also during night time the temperature of desert is very cold. The temperature of desert is very cold. Different types of cactus and thorny bushes can survive in desert. They can found in desert. So desert is the one of the habitat of plant. Like other habitat such as dry places, wet places, water, the desert is habitat of plant as well. So a cactus absorb water and store in its stem. Do you know the roots of desert plant goes deep inside the earth surface, inside the ground? Okay, they goes deep inside. Do you know why? They goes deep inside because to absorb water for the plant. Because in desert there is no availability of available of water. So the root of desert plant goes deep inside for the source of water. And also they store water in their stem. So they do not have leaves which help them to reduce the loss of water evaporation. So through the leaf of a plant, their evaporation occur. There is exchange of gases through the leaf. So desert plant, they don't have leaf, so which reduce the loss of water. There is no loss of water because they don't have leaf. Instead of leaf they have thorn. Instead of leaves they have thorns. The roots of the desert plants have long roots. The roots of the desert plant, they have long roots and they grow deep into the soil to fetch water. They often grow in bushes. The desert plant, they often grow in bushes, which means जसको मतलब हुन्छ तिनीहरू they grow in एउटा झाडीको जस्तो एउटा ग्रुपमा जस्तो भएर ग्रो हुने गर्दछ. And it covers the land and helps to reduce the loss of water from the soil. So यसरी त्यो बुसेस भएको कारणले गर्दा सनबाट आउने जुन हिट इनर्जीलाई ब्लक गर्ने गर्दछ डेजर्ट प्लान्टको थ्रोनहरूले, जसबाट लस अफ वाटर हुनबाट एभोइड गर्ने गर्दछ, रोक्ने गर्दछ. So can you give some example of desert plants? Okay, some examples are aloe vera, another, can you tell? Cactus, etc. They are the some example of desert plants. So in desert, plants like aloe vera, cactus, etc. found. And students, do you know the desert plant, the plants that survive in desert cannot survive in cold region, also cannot survive in water, because the habitat of desert plant is desert, so they cannot survive in water or other places. As an example, we cannot grow plants of cactus plant in water. Likewise, aloe vera also cannot grow. So these are the desert plants. Now the next topic is plants of cold places. Our next topic is plants of cold places. We can see different types of plants, they are surviving in cold places. We can see in our nature they are surviving in cold places, like maple, pine, etc. They are surviving cold places. Such a place cold places are those places where there is cold, okay, a little bit more cold in winter season, okay, and little bit warm in summer season. These places are called cold places. The leaves of these plants fall in winter, and the leaves of plants fall in winter, such as the leaves of cold places plants like maple, pine, etc. fall in, pine, in case of pine no, but in case of maple the leaves fall in 1 year, fall in winter. Pines are the plants that grow in the places where it is cold for the whole year. So pines can grow in those places which are cold in whole year, the full year. So they have a needle shaped leaves. Do you know the leaves of pine tree are needle shaped, and they remain green for whole year. The pine tree which remain green for the whole year, they have a shape like a cone. Their outer structure, their outer look looks like a cone. That means cone shape. You know the cone shape? The outer look, the physical look of the cold places plants looks like cone. You know the shape of cone, like this cone shape. Okay, this looks like a cone, like this cone structure. Their shape looks like cone. They also bear cones instead of fruits. The pine tree, which gives cone shape instead of fruits, they bear cones. The cones are the fruits which have seeds in them. The cones, which are the fruits and which have seeds inside the cone. In extreme cold, there is only a grassland and no big trees grow in such places. In such places, there is no grow of other plants and no big trees grow in such places. Now, our topic is plants of hot places. Plants of hot places. Plant of hot places. We can see different types of plants. They are surviving in hot places. Most of the timber plants, the plants that are used to make furniture, boat, shelter, etc., their wood are used to make such things like boat, construction of bridges, house, etc. They are called timber plant, and most of the timber plants found in hot places like sal. Sal is the one of the best example of plants of the hot places. And in our nature, we can see different types of plants surviving in hot places. And plants in hot and moist places are tall. The plants that survive in hot places are tall. Their size is big, tall. Very little sunlight can enter through them to the ground. Because they are tall, their size is big, so a little bit sunlight passes through them. The ground is therefore bare in such jungles. त्यस्तो जंगल जहाँ हट प्लेसेस छ र बिग ट्रीजहरु छ, टिम्बर ट्रीहरु छ भने त्यो प्लेसको जमिन, त्यो प्लेसको हामीहरुले ग्राउन्ड हेर्यौं भने त्यहाँनिरको ग्राउन्ड बाँझो हुने गर्दछ। त्यहाँनिर अरु प्लान्ट्सहरु सर्भाइभ गर्न सक्दैन। So this is because of lack of sunlight. There is no sunlight because the sunlight coming from sun blocked by that big trees, timber trees. So the ground of the such hard places are bare. And they often green for the whole year. Also, they often green for the whole year. Most timber trees grow in hot places. Most of the timber trees, they grow in hot places. So, now I am going to teach you about the climbers. And I think in our previous class we already discussed about climbers. And the climbers are those plants which need support to stand. Let me classify plants. Okay, plants are firstly herbs. Okay, in our previous class we already learned about that. Herbs, shrubs, trees. Beside these, the plants there are also other plants. These are the main. Herbs, shrubs and the trees are the main, but beside this there are other two. They are climbers and the next one is creepers. So plants are grouped like this, and we learned in our previous class that what are herbs we already learned, shrubs also, trees also, climber also and the creeper also. Okay, so now we are going to deal about water plants. When we talk about plants, we think of something growing on the ground. हामीहरूले जब प्लान्ट्सको कुरा गर्छौं हामीहरूलाई लाग्छ प्लान्ट्स भन्ने बित्तिकै जमिनमा हुनुपर्छ। हामीहरूले ल्यान्डमा पाउने प्लान्ट्सको बारेमा मात्र सोच्ने गर्दछौं। तर प्लान्ट्सहरू त ल्यान्डमा मात्र नभएर we can find in other places also, such as we can find in water, cold mountain, wet places, etc. So habitat are different. It is true because a large number of plants, especially big plants, they grow in land. Most of the big plants, they grow in land. And there are some plants which can grow in water or very wet places. There are also other plants. I already told you about that. There are also other plants. They can survive in other places than that of land, okay? Which means in water or wet places. Water plants have soft body. You know, the water plants, they have soft body and a small number of roots. Plants that are found in water, they have soft body structure. The body is soft and they have a small number of root. They have ear chamber. And which help them to float. पानीमा तैरनको लागि, पानीमा उत्रिएर बस्नको लागि, पानीको माथि फ्लोट हुनको लागि तिनीहरूलाई एयर च्याम्बरले हेल्प गर्ने गर्दछ. And there are three types of water plants. They are underwater plants, fixed plants and freely floating on water. So altogether water plants are divided into three categories, in three groups, and namely they are underwater, fixed and freely floating plants. Okay, now I like to give you some homework and you can do it at your home. Write any two desert plants. Write any two plants. Sorry, here is name of. Write the name of. Write the name of any two desert plants. Similarly, write the name of any two plants that found in cold places. And the third one, what is thrown? Or define thrown. And this much for today. We will meet in our next class. Thank you, student. Bye bye.